and welcome back to 20th Century Dude. This is obviously the review for Deadpool and Wolverine, the only MCU film that apparently Marvel is putting out this year. Which is probably a good thing, because they need to slow the heck down, because there's too much of this crap. But anyway, let's dive into it, and I'm just going to be outright, we're going to be doing spoilers throughout the whole thing, because honestly, I don't know how I can construct a review without it. Spoilers throughout, so if you don't want spoiled, wait a week or something for this review, and come back later, I guess. But spoilers ahead. So I guess it's like at the very beginning of the movie, and right off the bat, we see Deadpool digging up Wolverine's remains where he was buried from Logan. And honestly, this did have me concerned a little bit that they were going to completely, like, soil, like, the whole movie of Logan, which the film did teeter on occasion. But fortunately, I don't think it really tarnished the legacy of that movie, thankfully. But it did borderline get close to, like, okay, that's enough. We need to, like, preserve the legacy of Logan, which they purposely did try not to do, I get, but just be careful. And then, of course, some TVA agents find him, and he literally gets Logan's adamantium bones and starts killing all the TVA agents with them. Entertaining sequence, but okay. Okay, movie. And then moving on from there, like, we move back to, it's like a flashback, like, that, like, precedes it. We see Wade's living a pretty different life. He's given up Deadpool. He even destroys Cable's time travel tech, which I thought was a little off-putting at first, especially for one reason that I'm going to bring up. Because somehow he travels to Earth 19999, the MCU universe, even though the movie calls it 616, which again is wrong. It's one quadruple nine or whatever it is. He goes back to, like, 2018, which I'm pretty sure would be preceding the events of Infinity War, and he's trying to get inducted into the Avengers. Which Happy Hogan, played by Jon Favreau in a surprise but de-aged cameo, basically tells him no. You need to find out, more about yourself and what it means to be this kind of hero, because we can't just let you on to become an Avenger, essentially. The de-aging technology itself, a little mixed. Okay. My question is the logistics of how Deadpool even did get there. Because I thought Cable's time travel tech only applied to Deadpool's universe. Like, they can only go back in time on that universe's timeline, right? Not just hop to other universes. Which is apparently something he can just do. So I don't know if that was something that was pre-established in Deadpool 2, which I don't remember. I've seen it, like, twice. I don't think that was ever something that was established before. And that also opens up another can of worms. For one, why does he destroy it? And two, if that's the case, that Cable's time travel tech can go to other universes, is this what TVA tech is, like? It can't possibly be pre-established from that. But then, why couldn't he just use it for the rest of the movie? Why would he need to go to the TVA and steal their stuff to go to other universes to find Wolverine, where he could just use Cable's time travel tech? But inconsistency, plot hole, mistake, call it what you like. I don't get it. That threw me off guard. It's like, wait, okay. but he's been at the MCU at one point. So I don't know. Does that also create branch timelines? Or I don't know. But anyway, moving on. It's now was his like a surprise birthday party or something. All his friends. Colossus is there. His roommate Blind Owl was there. Of course, there's plenty of jokes throughout. And then we get to see the TVA catch up with him. Well, for us, it's again, but he hasn't encountered them yet. And then they bring him to the TVA. And the paradox guy that he encounters, he does make a point where we brought you here not because of the time traveling you did for with Cable's time travel tech, but it's for another purpose. And it makes me wonder why they wouldn't, for one, scold him for that. Because I'm assuming in Deadpool's attempt to fix timelines, that he would actually be making a whole bunch of other, like, branched off continuity or something. And that Deadpool is actually the reason why the X-Men continuity is so all over the place. I thought they would be getting into that, but I guess not. But he tells Wolverine, not Wolverine, I'm sorry, Deadpool, he tells him that his world is dying because his universe's anchor, which is Wolverine, died in Logan, and apparently the sacrifice was so great that it sent ripples throughout time. I guess that's a thing. It sent ripples throughout time, but because now it doesn't have a Wolverine, it's gonna die now. Which, I mean, for one, the idea of anchors in these Marvel timelines has never been established in a movie or TV show before, which makes it awkward why it's all of a sudden brought up now. But also, it's weird that one death that I guess was meant to happen, like, is enough to make the universe fall apart, I guess. So yeah, I don't know what I think about that. That's a little odd, but and then Paradox says you can go to the Sacred Timeline, which is the mainline MCU. You can go there and live along all these heroes, even though technically Deadpool already went there, but maybe they forgot about that. I don't know. It seems like the whole movie forgot about it by that point. And then, after seeing some archive footage, Deadpool sees himself being cradled by Thor. I think it was Paradox says that this is the future. So I don't know if this is a Secret Wars event, because apparently the Thor footage they use is from the Dark World. I don't know if they're setting anything up with, like, Deadpool dying or something. I don't know. I wonder how they would have that footage if these multiversal events aren't going to happen yet. That's just odd to me. But yeah, anyway, so basically, Deadpool, of course, he's basically told what comes with a price, that he's going to use this Time Ripper device to kill off his universe quicker. That spare it or something, because it takes like 1,000 years to, like, disintegrate into nothing, basically. And of course, Deadpool is like, no, that's my home, absolutely not. And then takes matter in his own hands, and he's just gonna go get Wolverine, find a Wolverine somewhere, which is why he digs him up, and put him back in his universe. That way, it can essentially be saved. So yeah, so we're going to other universes then. We're seeing other Wolverines. One where it's actually a comic-accurate short, which of course is played for jokes. What else is there? There's, like, one, he's like, I'm not familiar with the comics. Apparently this is taken from comics. He's Logan is, like, crucified on this, like X or something. And a whole bunch of skulls. Hardcore comic fans are going to know what that is. I had to look it up on the internet because I didn't know anything about that. Where else does he go? Another there's like a cowboy Clint Eastwood kind of Wolverine, I guess, and then there's another some apocalypse Wolverine or something. Oh, and my favorite, and I really hope Marvel uses this to their advantage in the future. There is a Henry Cavill Wolverine variant that Deadpool encounters. And even though he's in there for less than a minute, the idea of Henry Cavill and the way the performance was as him as Wolverine, it was awesome. This Marvel, please, if you ever do recast Hugh Jackman or need a new actor in the future, use Henry Cavill, please. It was great. It was a fantastic idea, and it worked perfectly. So please use it, because it was awesome. And now I need to see more Henry Cavill Wolverine, because it was great, and it was too short-lived. And honestly, it's a shame they didn't bring him back for the final battle in the movie. But anyway, finally he finds a Wolverine in a universe that's... I guess I think they mentioned almost all the mutants are dead except for him, because he was negligent. He quit the X-Men because he didn't want to be there. But once the humans started hunting the mutants, he started killing the humans, and now he's looked upon as this terrible dude, now down on his luck. And in this drunken state, Deadpool basically takes him back to the TVA, and he's like, hey, look, I did what I need to do. All right, done. Here we go. And they basically are like, first of all, you can't just do that. Secondly, why did you pick literally the, quote, worst Wolverine out of them all? Because he let his world basically die. And of course, the both of them are thrown into the void, which I'm sure some of you remember from Loki. And then they encounter some Fox characters. We'll get into it in a moment. And again, major spoilers. They encounter Chris Evans, but he's not playing Captain America. No, it's the Human Torch. And they're setting that up because Deadpool keeps thinking, oh, he's going to say the line. He's going to say, I can do this all day. Or I can say Avengers Assemble. And then he says, flame on. He's like, what? Of course, I knew when Chris Evans was revealed, he wasn't going to be playing Captain America. He was going to be playing the Human Torch. Not because it rumors, of course. But if this was supposed to be a send-off to Fox characters, then yeah, of course it's going to be a Human Torch instead. Why? Because why wouldn't it be? Because Captain America wasn't a Fox character. The Human Torch was. So of course they're going to bring him back for that. But hey, at least it was nice to see Chris Evans back in some fashion. It wasn't Captain America, but it was something else. It's fine. I was okay with it. Surprised we didn't really have a lot more Fantastic Four cameos from anything. There wasn't anything from like any of the Thing actors or any of the Mr. Fantastics or Doctor Dooms or anything. I was kind of surprised that they kept it at the Human Torch, which is fine. I guess they did mostly want it to be mutant-centric. We do get to see others. I think it was whoever the Deathstrike, I think is her name, from X2. We have Azazel from First Class. Toad, I think, from the first X-Men movie. And a whole sort of others. I guess there's a guy called the Russian, who's also in the Void. He's from I want to say the 2004 Punisher movie, which is the only Punisher movie I've not seen. But he's not used in a major fashion, so at least I didn't feel bad about missing the movie. I did want to see that Punisher movie before going into this, because I didn't know if they're going to be digging in that deep. But oh well, I guess. And there we get to meet Cassandra Nova, which is the sister of Professor X, I guess. But when they revealed she's going to be in the movie, I had to basically do a Wikipedia search. It's like, okay, you are who now? Again, I'm not a huge comics nerd. I do want to do at least a little bit of research before going into these things. But she's his sister, I guess. I don't think a sister to any specific Professor X we've seen in any of the past movies. 'Cause I guess she makes a comment of if if he only knew I existed or something. And then basically, yeah, there's a conflict because she tries to feed them to Eliath, and of course, Deadpool and Wolverine, they get away, and then they get stranded in the middle of nowhere. They meet like Nice Pool, which is another Deadpool variant played by Ryan Reynolds, and this guy not only looks more ninja-esque, I guess. Again, he's also nicer. He's not going to be mouthy like a lot of the other Deadpools. But we'll get the Deadpool cameos later. And then we also come across Dogpool, which, of course, Deadpool immediately falls in love with and wants that dog for the rest of the movie, which he eventually does get after Nice Pool dies. Spoiler alert, again. And then after doing a good bit of traveling, Deadpool and Wolverine, they have a fight in the van. Honestly, pretty nice action sequence. Get to see some nice bloody action and some good chemistry from the two of them, as well as good storytelling points. But once they're unconscious, when they're done from fighting, they get brought to some, I want to say not a headquarters, but like sort of a hideout for some rejected variants, where we get to see Jennifer Garner's Elektra. That was confirmed. She basically she didn't follow the Kevin Feige rule, obviously, of shut up. I guess, because we knew that immediately. She was in the movie. And then we also get to see Wesley Snipes' Blade. All right, and definitely nice to see you again. Wasn't expecting that, and they do make a funny comment of the one and only Blade, which I kind of saw as, yeah, that's funny because we're never gonna get the other Blade movie. That's hilarious. And even Deadpool asks, "Oh, where's Daredevil?" And she's basically like, "Yeah, whatever, it's fine. He won't be here. We don't miss him." Which I think simultaneously is like a dig at that movie, but because she was married to him once and then later divorced him, I think was also more or less a dig at Ben Affleck. It's just like, whatever, yeah, who cares? Which I also found funny. And then we also got to see Channing Tatum as Gambit from the movie he never got to make, and now he finally makes an appearance. Another welcome surprise. And then a cameo I wasn't too sure about, but then I think, hey, after some thought, it's fine. Daphne Keane returns as X-23 from Logan, of course. Of course, a bit older. And I'm to assume maybe it's from, since Logan is technically in the future, she's after that in the farther future. I don't know. I'm going to assume probably, but yeah. So they all form this group, and they all decide. Of course, Wolverine needs some encouragement from his daughter. Not you get what I mean, timey-wimey wise, but yeah, that they're all gonna go back and they're all gonna fight Cassandra Nova. And you get there, and we have a big CG fight, of course. And then once they finally overcome Cassandra Nova, she has a sling ring from a Doctor Strange variant that must have been there in the past or something. Somebody pointed out they looked like Infinity Stones and like the side of the sling ring. I don't know. Maybe they're going to be doing a thing with bringing Infinity Stones back, but who knows. So as they're escaping there, they go back to Deadpool's universe, and while it seems like the goal is accomplished at first, the other Deadpools show up, the Deadpool Corps as they call it. And while she doesn't reveal herself, it's basically Blake Lively and Lady Deadpool suit. Thank God it wasn't Taylor Swift. Just thank you, Jesus, because I would have walked out of the theater if that happened. Because no, please no, not ever. We get a variant called Headpool, which is I guess just a flying head or something. There's like a robot Deadpool. I don't know the name of it. I'm gonna call it Robot Deadpool. Robot Pool. We'll call it Robot Pool. Of course, Dogpool returns, Nicepool returns. Matthew McConaughey is apparently a cowboy Deadpool. Okay, I didn't even know that was him at first until the credits is like, oh, okay, oh yeah, yeah. Matthew McConaughey is in a movie now, and he had his one line as or one or two lines as Cowboy Deadpool, and that was kind of cool. And they all have a big bloody fight, and this is where Nicepool dies because he basically is used as a shield. It's so awful, and then Deadpool just uses it as an excuse to get his little golden guns. He's mean, but they have this fight, and then Deadpool's friend Peter shows up in Deadpool's costume, and they all unite over the fact that, oh, there's a Peter in every Deadpool's universe, and he's a super cool guy. Uh, okay, it basically is a device to like get him out of that situation, I guess. But somehow Cassandra Nova gets loose, and then she goes to the TVA to use the Time Ripper to basically kill off every universe, so there's only the Void. And of course, Deadpool and Wolverine, while it seems like they die at first, they do stop her. They do stop the Time Ripper, and they actually restore Deadpool's universe in a way where it won't die now. It's like a rejuvenated energy or something, and Paradox is basically, because of his Time Ripper device, he's basically put under arrest, kind of thing. Oh, and I forgot, yeah, Wolverine. He puts the full mask on, full comics accurate mask. So, if you're wondering, does he wear the full suit? Yes, he does. He most certainly does, mask included. Wolverine, well, at first, I think they were going to set up, I don't know if there's a reshoot or not. Seemed like he's going to go off and do his own thing. Because Deadpool asks, are we going to see each other again? Wolverine's like, yeah, maybe. Basically, until he introduces him to Blind Owl, and there's the family like reunion kind of thing, friend reunion. Also with Daphne Keene present. I'm wondering if this was a reshoot, because I know they were going to be setting up Secret Wars. According to rumor has it, it will be Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, probably this one, with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. And they're going to be forming the Multiverse Avengers for Secret Wars. So I thought that's what they were doing at first, but then they kind of do a 180. It's like, well, no, actually. So maybe it was a reshoot. I don't know. I could be 100% wrong. And we also don't get like an actual... We don't get the typical Marvel mid-post-credit scenes as we typically do. The only mid-credit scene we do get is like behind-the-scenes, like footage from the X-Men and a few Fantastic Four movies as tribute to all the Fox stuff, basically. Since it was a send-off, it was a sort of a goodbye. And then another little snippet in the post-credit scene, but nothing that's going to set up future stuff anyway. It basically plays off a joke that was set up earlier. The ending itself, well, I thought it was fine, a little heartwarming. I think the logic of it is a little not there, because while Deadpool succeeds in putting a Wolverine in his universe, in a way, if this Deadpool movie technically takes place before Logan, like chronologically, then wouldn't that mean there's now two Wolverines in that universe? Wouldn't that screw things up even more? You would think. Would that mean now the events of Logan don't take place then? Because another thing, there should also be like two X-23s then. Because wouldn't she be like a toddler or something by then, or like a baby or something? I don't know. That's the logic of that is a little confusing. Maybe they forgot about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too hard for my own good, but I'm gonna assume maybe another continuity error. They always persist with these X-Men movies or something. They always do. But I think overall, while this movie does have some flaws. It does have a good deal of plot holes, and even things in the theater that are like, what? uh, things that make me think maybe a little too hard. I think this, the sake of this movie, it's a crowd pleasing movie. Plot does take a little. It takes a back seat a little. That's okay. It's okay. I mean, it is a Deadpool movie. I would be a little more forgiving about it. If it were anything else, yeah, but whatever, I guess. So yeah, I also think I think it's a better sequel to Deadpool 2. Maybe not so much as far as plot, but as far as like, I guess, jokes are concerned. I still think the first one is the better Deadpool movie. Don't get me wrong, it's still like up here, but I do think Deadpool and Wolverine is my favorite sequel of the Deadpool movies. I wasn't always the biggest fan of Deadpool 2. It was okay. I don't think the jokes land as well in that movie. Again, maybe it's just the first one did it all better, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I had more to laugh at this time, or laugh with in the movie for Deadpool and Wolverine. I did Deadpool 2. Maybe the jokes work a little more. They work better. They're definitely more referential this time, which is another detail I'll note. So it's a lot more meta than the other Deadpool movies. Yeah, it's come a long way. Deadpool started as a somewhat smaller movie in 2016, and now he's in the MCU. So it's made it this far, I guess. We won't get a Deadpool 4, which is fine. We don't need a Deadpool 4. We're good. And if he shows up at Secret Wars like he might be set up to do, that's fine. So I would say my consensus is for this movie is that it's a crowd pleaser with some flaws, but definitely better than what we've had for a lot of things. It's the second best post Endgame movie, I guess. I'd still say Spider-Man: No Way Home is the best one post Endgame movie. Guardians 3 maybe third-ish. Third best. This is maybe second best, probably. I don't rank movies really, but I guess if I were to, No Way Home, Deadpool, Wolverine, and Guardians 3 are, I guess, the three-ish best Marvel movies post Endgame, which for a lot of things, a lot of these projects now doesn't really take much. But yeah, that's my review of Deadpool and Wolverine. If you like Marvel, go see it. If you like Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman or the both of them together, go see it. At least you'll have a good time this time. I sat in a crowd that was laughing every 20 to 25 seconds, so you'll enjoy yourself probably. And that's all I have for today. So otherwise, have a great rest of the day and see you.